Welcome to the What's Up Castleberry podcast, Castleberry's most favorite, most popular podcast. My name is Andy Searles. I am here with my co-host, Drew Taylor. Say hey, Drew.
Hello, excited.
And the lovely Robin Keppy, who wanted me to say that she was lovely before I introduced her, but I didn't need to do that because everybody knows that she is. Welcome, Robin.
Thank you. I actually wanted you to add even more positive adjectives in front of my name. I think just lovely is not enough.
Oh, okay.
She's very humble.
Just a little lovelier.
Okay, we'll accept that for time.
Robin, I'm just curious. Hearing your name so many times, were you ever known as Peppy Keppy?
No, but that would be good.
That is going to be our question for discussion in a minute. But let me.
Most people can't even pronounce the last name, so it would not work. It'd be like most people pronounce it Copy or Copy, so Poppy Copy. I don't know.
Photo. I'd call you Photo.
Photo.
Photocopy. Except, Robin, you are an original, and there is none like you.
Thank you, Andy.
So photocopy wouldn't work.
That got it.
All right, where are we? Let's get back on track. Who are we? I've got a joke coming up soon about being back on track. So hold that thought. Let's get back on track with the podcast. Our goal is to connect our community even further. We believe that there's some great things about our city and our community, and we want to do all that we can to further them and increase them. And thank you for listening and being a part of that. Later in the show, we have the second part of our interview with departing Castleberry Elementary School principal Mallory Lambert. She speaks very personally about her affection and love for our city, and you will not want to miss that. So thank you so much for joining us today. Let me introduce our next kind of round of conversation. Robin, we did joke about a nickname, but I would love to know from both of you, what was your nickname in middle school?
Well, I didn't really have a nickname from, friends, but my dad used to call me Robbie Bobby.
Robbie Bobby. Mm-hmm. That's affectionate.
I love that nickname.
That's nice. Robbie Bobby.
Kind of rhymes. I was Drooby-Doo after
Scooby-Doo.
After Scooby-Doo.
Can you do the voice?
Shaggy.
Okay, so no, you can't.
No, I can't. Not really. Yeah, I was Drooby-Doo. Yeah.
Well, I had several. I don't know if you've noticed this, and our listeners won't be able to see it, but one of my ears is slightly pointed at the top. And we've got headphones on now.
Sure, yeah.
So, Spock was one of my nicknames, which is not very original.
Affectionate and friendly.
Yeah.
If Drew and I are staring at you after we're done wrapping up and you have your headphones off, don't think anything of it.
yeah, that's right. There will be a picture of my ear on What's Up Castleberry.
Socials, yeah.
So that's one of them, and I had a few that I don't want to share on air. But another one was people used to call me Cess, C-E-S, which is short for Cecil. And one of the reasons that I got the nickname Cecil was that there was this kid in one of my classes who had a speech impediment and he couldn't pronounce my last name Searles. So he said Cecil, and everyone thought it was funny and it stuck, but Cecil was too long to keep saying. So
interesting. Yeah. It is unique how some nicknames just come about and then how they stick.
Yes, and illogical too.
Right. Totally.
But anyway, after years of therapy, I'm now back to being Andy and quite happy with that. Listen, this is a part 2 episode with Principal Lambert from Castleberry Elementary School. If you went back and listened to episode 1, she talked about data and data, as you Americans say. And as she was talking about that, I thought that could be a great segue for Drew to share with us some of his data jokes.
Oh, the data jokes. Yep.
So the data jokes of the week.
Well done, Andy. Well done. All right, the dad jokes of the week. Here we go.
That was painful, wasn't it?
That took a long, circuitous route to get there, but we're there. So it's the summertime. My family loves the beach, so I've got 2 jokes kind of connected to a beach theme. So here we go. Producer Robin, what did the beach say to the tide when it came in?
What?
Long time. No see. There we go. Long time no see. All right, here we go. Number 2. Why are there fish at the bottom of the sea?
Why?
Because they dropped out of school. Didn't school fish. Yeah. That one, I kind of knew that one was going to flop, but it's going to
flop. There you go. We keep even in. You know what, Andy? Read off your pirated jokes.
All right, your turn.
Pirated jokes. Robin with a C joke there. Well played. Well, I did mention earlier that I was going to tell a railroad getting back on track joke. You know what? I just lost my train of thought.
It's good.
Yeah. Have you guys been watching any of the launches going up recently? That's one of the benefits of living in Central Florida. We just, when they go up, we can look to the east and see them. Well, I understand that NASA is launching a new mission to say sorry to all the space aliens. They are calling it Apology. Like Apollo. What's it? Okay.
I got it. Before you move on.
Apology. Apology.
Apology.
Yeah.
Before you move on, it's interesting you mentioned the launches and rockets going up in space because my son, I read him bedtime stories, and there's this little book and it has a picture of a rocket ship. He is convinced it's a pirate ship, and he will not call it anything else. So he sees a picture of a rocket, a spaceship going up, and he's like, pirate ship. I'm like, buddy, that's not a pirate ship. But for whatever reason.
Well, my rocket joke failed to launch, so I'll leave that there. All right, one more. Sad news. Just been vulnerable with you both. Some medical news. I've been diagnosed with a chronic fear of giants.
Okay.
It's called a fee-fi-phobia. Fee-fi-phobia.
There we go. Just for pity.
There we go. Those are the dad jokes of the week. We hope you enjoy those. We have different levels of enjoyment.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
One more, Drew, just for kicks.
Sure. Why not?
I have no idea why my new plug-in air freshener won't work.
Why?
Plug it in and switch it on. Nothing. It just doesn't make sense.
There you go. Oh boy.
No, you don't even get a button.
Come on, give me a button. Give me the turquoise button.
We are punchy today. All right, very good. Well, listeners, we care about the things of Castleberry and care about safety. And one of the newsworthy segments was a recent article online about the light on Sausalito and 436. Let me paint a picture of where that is. Sausalito and 436. That's the Wawa, the newer Wawa gas station of 436. The Planet Fitness and Venzo's and Colorado Fondue, kind of that plaza. So pulling out onto 436. There's been several folks that have been commenting on the fact that there is not a left turn signal coming out of the Sausalito neighborhood there. Onto 436, and vice versa. If you're in the Wawa Plaza or Alex's Fresh Kitchen, turning left on the 436 towards Castleberry, there's no left turn signal, and so
there is a green light, though, so you can kind of go out of that. But if you're going to turn left, you're kind of competing with the cars that are turning left out the other way too.
That's correct.
And going straight.
And going straight. And so between the fact that A, 436 is a busy road, lots of cars, B, there's no left turn signal directing those folks out of either the neighborhood or the plaza when to turn left or it's safe, and C, that light is relatively short, there has been actually a number of accidents reported.
And D, that road coming out of Sausalito is actually on quite a slope too.
Yes.
So you have to go to the top of it in order to kind of check your surroundings.
And really get into the crosswalk too, which is dangerous. But yeah, so for those kind of myriad of factors, it's been observed. We believe the news report said there were over 60 car crashes over a 4-year period here recently. 60 crashes at that intersection. Yeah.
What's amazing is that Robin wasn't one of them either.
Really is a miracle.
But all seriousness, the Florida Department of Transportation's commenting, kind of doing a study about the timing of those lights and perhaps even implementing to me, the easiest solution would be on its face, just putting in left turn signals where if you're coming out of the Wawa or the Alex's Kitchen Plaza, there's a time for you to turn left. Vice versa, if you're coming out of the Sausalito neighborhood, there's a distinct time to turn left.
think
left.
one of the again, this is way more complex than I
Sure.
understand, but I think part of the problem with that is if you put another light there, it means that you have longer reds going down 436, and as we know, 436 is already a very congested area, especially going into that red bug area, and so nothing is ever as easy as it seems, but I'm glad that the Department of Transportation is looking in that. I'm sure they will study it and make the right decisions. I think, Drew, I'd probably describe that kind of whole area as having an awkward traffic flow, right? Mm-hmm. You've got the bridge, the flyover, which you can only go left on. You know, when you're coming out of Winter Park Drive via Walgreens, I mean, you got like 3 options: a really tight right, a really extended left, which is hard because you can't see the bridge, and then straight kind of goes forward and bends right. So I mean, there's just a lot of confusing complexity there. But what I do appreciate about this story is that we have concerned, involved citizens, right, who are not happy with the number of accidents and saying, hey, what do we do about this? And they look at the situation, they're making a little bit of noise about the situation, and it looks like it's got the attention of those who can fix that problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And that plaza there, with the Venzos, and there's the Kane's Furniture Store and Colorado Fondue
and Crunch Fitness.
And Crunch Fitness.
I never see you there, Drew. You know why? Because I'm never there.
Yeah, you won't see me there either. But no, it to me it's a positive problem, a challenging problem in that plaza and the neighborhood behind it, Sausalito, is an attractive place. It's where people want to be, and so there's certainly the need for safety. So yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to seeing kind of what solutions come about there. We are going to continue on, both you and I, conversing, and be back with part 2 from Mallory Lambert. We are excited, really thrilled and honored to have with us our special guest today. This is part 2 of our conversation with Castleberry Elementary Principal Mallory Lambert. You can listen to part 1 on our podcast feed, our website, etc. But we are thrilled to have Mallory back. Mallory is the current principal, as I said, of Castleberry Elementary, but as of this recording, she will be moving just up the road to Sanford to Midway Elementary, and we talked about that in part 1. So welcome back, Mallory.
Thank you.
So Mallory, as we shared 2 weeks ago, you have been in Castleberry for 6 years. And one of the things that Drew and I are committed to do through the podcast and through some of the other projects that we do is to strengthen the understanding and the identity of the Castleberry community. You know, as when anyone goes anywhere, we go with some preconceived notions. Some of those can be healthy, some of them can be off a little bit, and so we need to hold things loosely. But how have your perceptions of the Castleberry community changed during your tenure as our principal?
Well, I had always heard amazing things about Castleberry and the community, but getting to experience it firsthand was such an honor and allowed me to understand and appreciate it better on a much deeper level. The parents are so involved and supportive. They care about their child's learning and support our teachers tremendously, and the community is very tight and is constantly pouring support into the school. So it is an amazing place to be, and everyone should know that.
I love that, and very much what you described is kind of that family environment that you fostered, whether it's community members, the actual parents. I've loved being a witness to the culture you've helped implement and continue. We've talked, especially last episode, really about all the positives and all the growth and the gain within your tenure at Castleberry. What maybe, reflecting back a little bit, what was a challenge that you faced during your time, or just in general as a principal, as a leader of a school?
So I would say continuously it's a struggle or a challenge to manage the stress level, my stress level, and the work-life balance. So constantly always trying to pace myself and make sure I'm balanced so that I can show up and be my best every day.
I'll sign up for that too. That's my biggest balance.
Right, we're all working on that, right? Also, I'm very big on listening and getting others' input, and sometimes you have to, and I want everyone to be happy and make everyone happy, but sometimes you have to make decisions where you can't make everyone happy, and that's very difficult, especially when you care about them and you've built very strong relationships.
That's frankly a very practical reality for leaders, is whether it's your family or, a big corporation or anywhere in between. It's having enough buy-in from everyone, but also not kind of letting everybody else make decisions. You ultimately, as the leader, you've got to make the decision. And
Yeah, for me, that's one of the definitions of leadership, when you can make the hard decisions because they're the right decisions. Kudos for you.
Thank you. We always say, as long as it's best for kids, it's the right decision.
That's good. That's the filter that everything goes through. So 6 years, lots of lessons, lots of leadership, lots of those moments where you have to really think through and do the right thing, even if it's a hard thing, put kids first. Knowing what you know now, is there anything you would have done differently?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
I know most people expect to say, no regrets.
I crushed it.
Do nothing different. So actually I had this conversation with a group of my teachers. So I asked them, I said, did I really do a good job explaining who I was when I started, or did you have to get to know me through experience and working with me? And they said, through experience and working with you. So I use that to say, moving on to my new school, I'm going to make sure I do a better job explaining who I am as a person and not just a principal, so that people understand truly who I am, and instead of just jumping right into the work and talking about the work, really making sure they understand me as a person, that my passion and focus is always on the kids and what's best for them, but learn more about me as an individual, not just as a leader.
That's really interesting. Really interesting. Because the first thing that I saw about you in our conversation in your office was your heart. And so I saw the charts on the wall, but you were very vulnerable about your care for kids, and I thought that's a good combination of kind of purpose-driven leadership, but with a tender care as well. So I'm not disagreeing with the teachers, but I think that's really insightful that you're learning about yourself.
Making sure that everyone sees that heart, not just the charts.
Yes.
yeah, so maybe to just set you up leaning into that question again, as of this recording going live, you will basically be at your new school. What does that look like in terms of just, so the desired lesson is you want to be more approachable, maybe more known by your team. So as you get to move into a new team, how do you go about kind of fostering and building those relationships there at Midway?
Well, I'm taking all the feedback I've received from my team, and I'm asking for feedback as I go, going to this new journey, and taking all that feedback and implementing it. And their feedback will always stay with me. And then with my new staff, constantly and continuously seeking out their feedback. That will be important.
That's good.
Just curious, is it July 1st you'll actually meet like the whole staff, or how does that?
So for the month of June, I've been splitting my time between Midway and Castleberry.
Okay.
And I've met the staff already. We've been doing some hiring, so
Nice.
I've already got to do some of that. So that's
Good.
been really nice.
Laying the groundwork there.
Yes.
Part of your heart will always be in Castleberry, which is one of the difficulties of moving on sometimes. But as you leave and you go on to this new opportunity, new school, new people to meet, what would be your hope regarding the future of Castleberry Elementary?
Well, do you want the serious answer first, or
I want
the funny answer?
I'll take the funny answer.
So my hope is that we finally beat Willow Creek and win one of our kickball tournaments.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a big aspiration.
Probably not going to happen.
You got to remember, Willow Creek organizes the kickball, referees the kickball, and then wins the kickball.
Yes, Drew actually reffed one of our games one year. So
Did you win that game he reffed?
I don't think so.
Yes, I know. I've
think it
had the same experience.
might have been due to a bad call, but that's okay.
No comment here. That's funny. How about a serious?
A serious answer. Just the continued success, continued connection to the community, continue those relationships and supporting and taking care of each other, because we have been through COVID together. We've been through construction together. We've been through a lot together as a team in 6 years, and just continue to stay close and support each other. And I will be watching, and I know they'll make me proud.
You know, they say challenges that bring people together, and you're right. I hadn't thought of that. COVID was an unprecedented challenge, and anyone who's done any kind of construction knows that you have to really pull together on that as well. So those have been two tough things that I think have probably contributed to that strength as well.
Andy and I have, Mallory, have not had the privilege of meeting your successor just yet. I think we have that on the books coming up
so.
later in July. But Miss May, correct? Her last name is May?
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah. Principal May, what kind of advice would you, or if you were kind of passing along the playbook, so to speak, to see Castleberry continue to be all they can be, what advice would you give to the new principal?
So she's also been at Castleberry, been meeting the staff, collaborating with me.
Oh, great.
And my advice is just to love all of the people and to listen to them, and that she is in great hands, and she's wonderful. So I'm excited for Castleberry.
Passing off the baton.
Yes.
And she can run with it. All right, final question. Change is hard. Change is always hard. I hate change. It's been said, I think it was Churchill who said, the only person who likes change is a baby with a dirty diaper, right? But we as adults, we do not like change. And so what advice and encouragement would you give to folks like Drew and I and parents and students who are going through this change and are going to miss you?
I would say keep in touch. Make me proud. I'm only a phone call or an email away. I'm just right down the road. I'm always going to be part of the community. Castleberry is always going to have a piece of my heart. I'll still be coming to participate in events.
Kickball.
I won't participate, but I'll come cheer them on, especially if they win.
Can I ask a question about kickball?
Yes, sure.
Because now you're not the principal at Castleberry anymore. Does that mean that your husband is not going to come and stack it with high school students?
Well, we still didn't win, so.
That's not my point. I'm just saying, if there was any kind of,
Maybe we'll make a midway team and come play in.
I would love that. That'd be so fun. Yep, there we go.
And just to everyone, you will see me again, and you will also love your new principal, Mrs. May. She's wonderful.
I'm looking forward to meeting her. Mallory, I don't know how we say thank you deeply enough for all that you have invested in our school and our community. It really seems that you were the perfect person at the perfect time, and our community is stronger and more connected and better positioned for the future because of your leadership. The influence that you've had in the school reverberates around the community. School is such an important part of our community ecosystem, and the life that you've brought to the school has reverberated around the community. So thank you very much. We are sad to see you go, but we wish you all the best in your new position, and we will hold you, because Robin recorded it, to the fact that you won't be a stranger.
I won't.
And we'll be sure to share your phone number with anybody who asks it if they need it. Mallory, thanks so much for being with us
Thank
today.
you so much.
Well, listener, we hope you've enjoyed both our conversation today as well as last week with Mallory Lambert. She's a busy lady, very influential person in our community. She will be missed, as you could hear in our voices, but we are very thankful for the legacy and the continuation developing just the school, our local school, Castleberry Elementary, and we wish Mallory well as she moves up the road to Sanford. And as Andy said, we look forward to having her back from time to time at different events. So Mallory has inspired all of us in various ways, particularly the children and parents there at Castleberry Elementary School. And Andy, the onus is now on you. Would you inspire our listeners at the end of another podcast?
That's right. With some words of wisdom every Sunday on our socials, we have an inspirational quote that hopefully will encourage you. Our quote today comes from Søren Kierkegaard. I think that's how you pronounce it. He was a Danish philosopher, I believe around the turn of the 19th century, but I could be wrong there. And he said this, among many other great things: life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. Have you ever felt that you're so consumed by problems that you're missing out? That the urgency, the worry, the stress is just ever before you and is all consuming. That's kind of how we handle problems. And sometimes, sadly, that's how people live. But this quote reminds us that life isn't just about getting locked into one problem and fighting through it. That's part of life. There's so much more, a reality to be experienced. And listener, today we hope that you are living in reality and that you are enjoying that experience of life. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. And I would add, a reality to be experienced with great joy.
Very good. Thank you, Andy. And it's been a joy for us to be with you this week on our podcast. And we hope you've enjoyed learning and loving Castleberry a little bit more along with us. If you haven't already subscribed, please click the subscribe button. You can also share with friends on either wherever podcasts are found, on our website, which is whatsupcastleberry.com. And you can also go to our social media, Facebook, Instagram, just search What's Up Castleberry. Thank you to producer Robin. She is lovely. She is talented. She works very hard. Thank you to my co-host Andy. And until next time, we hope that you have a great week.